Hello everyone, thank you for being here. We're going to go over the Sic sniper build that I use in PvP. I've done a good chunk of damage with it. I've done a little over 400,000 damage is the most that I've ever done. But you can do a good chunk of damage with this build. You can play safe, you can play far away, you can get up in people's face. It's a ton of fun. I really do personally enjoy it. I got this build off of Meta Battle. One of my people on Twitch, one of my Twitch viewers, recommended the build. I was struggling really hard with Reaper, and so he's like, hey, try Ranger and try Soulbeast, the Sic sniper build, and I loved it. I play Ranger everywhere now. My favorite build, my favorite class to play. So we're gonna go over everything in this video, go into as in depth as I can, really. So I hope you guys enjoy, and we're gonna get right into it here. So first things first, the link to the build is in the description in Meta Battle. It is the Sic sniper build. It's under a good build. A lot of it just depends on, metas and that kind of thing. But let's go over what we're using here. First of all, we are using Greatsword and Longbow. We have Berserker Amulet, Power, Precision, and Ferocity, Rune of Divinity, and then on our Greatsword, we have the Sigil of Intelligence. Your next 3 attacks after swapping to this weapon, while in combat, have 100% chance to critical, or 100% critical chance. Pretty darn good. Sigil of Energy, gain 25% of your endurance when you swap to this weapon while in combat. And then we go with the Longbow on the second one with Sigil of Exposure. Your next attack after swap to this weapon while in combat inflicts 5 stacks of vulnerability for 5 seconds. Sigil of Separation, deal 5% extra damage to targets more than 500 distance away. And you will be, when you're using the Longbow, obviously you kind of want to be away from those people who like to be in close combat, warriors, and then reapers. When they go into reaper mode, I've learned the hard way, you don't want to be up in there. But next we'll look at our build here. We can go over the skills first. So we heal as one, heals you pretty good, and helps with some of our stuff down here, our specializations, but we'll get into that a little bit more. It's a great heal. Does a lot for you. Sic will give you 25% extra damage is all you really need to know on your next attack for a little bit while. It's pretty good. I like it a lot. Quickening Zephyr, you and your pet gain quickness and super speed. The best thing about it, breaks stun, removes conditions. Can get you where you need to go as well, but I always use it to break stunts and remove conditions, get the heck out of there. Same thing with lightning reflexes. Survival, evade back with the crack of lightning, dealing damage and gaining vigor. You don't really need, it's an extra dodge, which is great, but it also breaks stuns, removes a condition. Very, very good. And then we get into our ultimate one, and it's Strength of the Pack. Rampage with your pet, gaining stability, fury, and swiftness. You and your pet also gain might to each other when you attack. So I use this usually at the beginning of a battle, the start of a fight. You can get 25 stacks of might pretty quickly. So it's good to have. You can do, this is how you do all your damage for the most part. All right, so we'll get into this here. We got Wilderness Survival as our first one. You recover endurance more quickly, 25%. Lesser muddy terrain, survival, use mud to cripple and slow and immobilize foes. So really use it for Child of Earth, create a muddy terrain. When you use your healing skill, you heal, you create a muddy terrain, cripples and slows your foes, which is great. You and your pet gain protection when you dodge roll, which is great because you have an extra dodge roll as well. When you're above the health threshold, your strikes inflict poison. Not one that I've used a lot or noticed a lot. That's, but it's better than either of these because we don't have condition damage. And incoming disables are transferred to your pet instead. You're merged with your Soulbeast, so it doesn't really help you. You and your pet recover health while affected by protection. Pretty good if you've got support on your team. Survival skills gain reduced recharge, grant fury, and remove conditions. So more survival skills like Quickening Zephyr, Lightning Reflex just get even better with this Wilderness Knowledge. The second one, Beast Mastery, we get into it. Pack Alpha, your pet's attributes are improved and pet skills gain recharge reduction. Improved attributes are power, condition damage, precision, toughness, and vitality. Soulbeast attribute increase is what we're looking for, 75. Pretty good. Resounding Timber commands apply additional boons around you and reduce recharge. So Sic and Strength of the Pack, trigger this, apply additional boons around you. So regen, swiftness, pretty good. While your health is above a certain threshold, your pet deals increased strike damage. Your pet swap gains recharge reduction. So I don't swap pets a lot, but still not bad. Greatsword and spear skills do more damage and recharge faster. Gain furry when you disable a foe. Pretty good because you got the greatsword. Just pretty much gives the greatsword a boost. Your pet moves faster and deals more damage on critical hits. Soulbeast ferocity increased 150, so we will be, merged most of that time. Lesser quickening zephyr. Survival, you and your pet gain quickness and super speed. So Zephyr speed, cast lesser quickening zephyr when you swap to your pet. Soulbeast can trigger this trait by entering or leaving beast mode. So when you merge, you move fast. And then obviously we have Soulbeast. Prelude last beast. Pull your enemies towards you and bind them briefly. Elevated bond, get access to stances. I don't think we use any of the stances in this build, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Unstoppable union. Entering beast mode grants boons and removes movement and pairing conditions. Pretty good. So when you merge, you get some removed conditions. You deal increased strike damage while you have fury. Pretty good. Second skin conditions inflict less damage while you have protection. Great if you've got a support on your team. Twice as vicious. Disabling a foe increases your damage and condition damage for a short duration. And then finally, oppressive superiority. Deal increased strike damage to foes at lower health percentage than you. Conditions you apply to foes at a lower health percentage than you last longer. So that's pretty much what we're looking at here. The two pets that we use are Siamoth and Gazelle. These are the two that we use throughout the whole build. All right, so now we're gonna go over what our weapons do, how we want to play, kind of the strategies that I use personally when I get in there. So you're just basic attack, you're just shooting. It's nothing too crazy. Just boop, boop. Rapid fire, this is one that does a lot of damage for you. It's going to be what helps trigger strength of the pack if your barrage can't do it. So hit 2, boom, 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 boom. It's a bunch of extra damage. It's actually pretty easy to dodge through. So a lot of people will just simply dodge through it. You can hit 3 if you ever get into too much trouble. Boom, you go invis. You just kind of run away. Make sure you hit the 3. If you miss the 3, then you don't go invis, unfortunately. The 4s are a great way to disable. Great way to get enemies who are trying to revive off or enemies who are trying to finish your team off. Hit the 4, boom. It does do a knockback, throws them away. And then we've got Barrage on our 5. It's a great AoE, and it's what we'll be using first when we get into the fight. But we will now go over Greatsword. So obviously just basic attack, nothing too crazy here. It will change from 3 things, so 1, 2, 3, back to this. But typically you're using this just for a couple of different skills. I mean, they can't all be useful, but Maul, boom, very good. The 3 is usually what people use to get away. The Swoop, you can either use it to close gaps or to run away. It's really not that bad. Again, if you're in trouble, hit the 4. It blocks for you. Counterattack, blocking coming attacks. If attack is blocked, counterattack kick can be used. Counterattack, so you block. If you get hit, you can kick, counterattack with a powerful kick. And then hit bash. Usually I just use this to it dazes and stuns your foe if it hit from behind, but usually this is just used to reset Maul. So we go boom, hit the 5, we reset our Maul, and then we can hit Maul again. Alright, just really quickly, we will go over what our pet abilities are. F1 always attacks, F3 always returns. For the Gazelle, we have Head Toss, tosses your foe in the air, it's an interrupt, does little damage, it's great. For the Siamoth, the big one here is Forage, we hit F2. Forage is something for us. You can get Tuftifair, you can get Feathers, and you can get Plasma. Plasma is the one you're looking for. Grants all boons, so you see when we pop Plasma, boom, look at all the boons we have. It's pretty wicked, pretty amazing. So if you can get it, it's pretty fantastic. Alright, so we get to the timer, it's 10, 9, 8. We forage, we get Feathers, so Feathers is actually not too bad. You're really looking for Plasma, grants you all the boons, grants you a bunch of extra good stuff, which is great. Feathers will turn us invisible, which is actually not bad. We swap back to Gazelle, we beast mode and merge with the Gazelle. Now when we get up to the fight, what we'll do is we'll pop Feathers, because that's what we have right now. We'll get over to a good position for us, somewhere far away where somebody's not gonna come and assassinate us. You're not gonna have a thief coming right after you, which is probably the worst thing that could happen, but that's okay. So typically what you want to do is you'll pop Strength of the Pack, you will use Barrage, This is going to grant you a bunch of might. You'll pick a target, you'll hit Sic 'em, you'll hit your rapid fire. Okay, we're going to lose our might here, but just for kind of explaining purposes, at this point, I will swap over to the greatsword, depending on the situation, right? Usually I'll try to close the gap. I'll use Maul, and then I'll use my F3 ability, which is Worldly Impact. Now, the reason that I do it in that order, I used to close with I used to do F2, F1, F3, but the reason that I use my Greatsword 3 to close the gap and then use Maul and then F3, I can close the gap, same thing that this is doing. The Maul will actually do a bunch of damage with Might, and then it also gives us attack of opportunity, so plus 25% damage on the next attack. So we can use Maul, and then boom, go right into our Worldly Impact, do a bunch of extra damage. It's a bunch of AoE, hits pretty hard, especially if there's a lot of people fighting in the middle. Now at that point, you've got a couple different options depending on what's going on. Most of the time you're looking just to get out, so that's where your F2 ability comes in. Well, usually you won't run into people, you'll just look away, use F2, run away usually, or you can use your swoop ability if it's back on cooldown to get away. You can also, if you're just kind of in trouble, not in a great spot, use your 4 ability, counterattack, block, 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 block. Obviously, if you're locked down, you can use Quickening Zephyr, get the heck out of there. If you're still locked down, use your lightning reflexes, get the heck out of there. Or you can stay and fight depending on what's going on. If you haven't lost a lot of health, you haven't had to use your heal yet, you can just stay in there, keep attacking with your just basic attack. Use your Maul, obviously, start comboing F2, F1, F3, and then just start, you know, keep doing damage, keep doing damage, keep doing damage. If they target you, you got to get out of there. You've got a lot of tools at your disposal, which is an amazing thing. So typically that's really what you're looking to do. So at full speed, full pace, it would probably look something, hopefully we can quote unquote get out of combat here in a second, but it would look something like, boom, game's about to start, 10, 9, 8, we're looking for plasma, we get plasma. We can take a second just to look at it real quick. It's consume plasma, gives us all the boons. We play this one a little differently. Hopefully we're in a good position now. We merge right away. Now I usually use Strength of the Pack and then plasma, so I'll pop Strength of the Pack, I will pop plasma, I will use my barrage, stack up might, stack up might, stack up might, use my Sic 'em, and then go after him with my 2, swap, close the gap, use my 2 ability, and then use 3. If you can do it fast enough, you can do it with, you can still have most of your stacks of might, and then just keep doing a ton of damage. You can go 2, 5 for the reset, 2 again, block, block, block. If you need to get out, you're really getting in trouble, just get out, and then you can get out again. Plenty of ways to get out of there. You can swap weapons, hit the 4 to knock them back, or hit a 3, go invis. I mean, you got a lot at your disposal to try to kind of get in and out and that kind of thing. Usually if I die, you obviously unmerge. A couple things to keep in mind. So I'll do the same thing. I die, I reset, I do the same thing. A couple things to keep in mind. If you are downed and you are revived, you are not merged anymore. So you need to re-merge. If you ever go down, your pet can heal you, bring you back alive. You can also heal yourself. It takes a second. It's your number 3 ability when you're downed, and your pet can bring you back, which is amazing. You can also hit F2 with a gazelle while you're down, and it will toss your phone into the air, so it's technically like a second interrupt. You can hit 2, interrupt, you can hit F2, interrupt again, and then hopefully get your gazelle there, start healing you up and that kind of thing. It's actually a pretty gorgeous thing. But yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it, how I play Sic 'em Sniper, how I play my Soulbeast in PvP. Now there's a couple different ways to do it. Kind of gotta find what works for you. Like I said, you can 1v1 with this build. If you're good enough. There's still things that I need to learn how to kind of counter other builds, and if you've got any tips or anything, you got anything you want to add to it, something I missed or something I said incorrectly, which can happen, please leave it down in the comments. You guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching. I hope this was some help for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Come follow me on Twitch. I'm live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys have a wonderful day. See ya.